Hey guys, I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. You end up starting something and you have all these little plans and stuff of what you're going to get done, and then reality kind of hits you and it takes a heck of a lot longer to do things and a lot more money than you anticipated. So we've gotten quite a bit done this year though. Not what we wanted to get done, but you know, it's not over yet. We do have a few other things we're doing with, you know, when you don't have money to do things and people give you things to go ahead and talk about them and test them out. That's pretty cool. So we've been doing a little bit of that here and there too, along with getting stuff done down here at the build site. But time is marching and it is getting colder. It's been about 27 in the morning on some mornings when I get up and go to work. So, whew, we're getting down to the wire. I'm gonna have to get over there to Mom and Dad's and get everything moved out of here, which I don't want to do that. I want to stay here, darn it. But sometimes the best of plans, but I'm very thankful that we actually have a backup. So it'll be a few more videos that we end up having for being here, and then we're going to be having a migration. I don't know, we'll see what we end up getting done today. We've got a few other things that have to get over here, but here we go. Rambling.
Michigan, where dreams take flight, we're planting seeds of hope under starlit night. With hands in the soil, we're chasing the sun, building a legacy, a life just begun. Every brick's a story, every tree's a friend. Michigan above the 45th parallel, with dreams in our hearts and stories to tell. Through sweat and through laughter, we're building it right. A home for the ages, we're shining through the night. Through seasons of laughter, through trials we stand, forging a future, it's all in our hands. From empty fields to a home full of grace, we're carving our path in this beautiful place. In the whispers of nature, our love will grow. Michigan above the 45th parallel, with dreams in our hearts and stories to tell. Through sweat and through laughter, we're building it right. A home for the ages, we're shining through the night. Together we'll flourish, watch our journey unfold. In the heart of the land, our dreams will be told. In the heart of the land, our dreams will be told. In the heart of the land, our dreams will be told.
What's up, guys? So I'm just downloading the Redodo app real quick so that once we get our install done, we'll be able to use the app and see what's going on. So we already showcased the battery, we already talked about where it's going and what we're doing. Now it's time for the install. So this is going to be just as easy as swapping out a car battery. We have two cables, one positive, one negative, and we're just going to unbolt those from the old battery, pull it out of the box. We can just drop in our new one and get our new bolts on there, and then we're ready to go. So should be pretty quick and simple. I will grab the proper wrench and let's get this old battery out of here. All right, so it's a 1/2 inch for my nut on the old battery, and it happens to be the same size on the other battery. We'll disconnect these, get them out of the way, make sure they're not touching nothing. Disconnect the negative cable, that one off there. Now, out with the old. That's the original battery we had when we got the camper. And now, same size, and weighs half, less than half as much. This thing is so light compared to that old battery. So that's another thing. If you're towing your RV, you're towing less weight now because you have a lighter battery in there. So actually might help you save on gas mileage if you're towing your camper around. Comes with new bolts. Like I said, this is 1/2 inch as well. Nice and tight. Let's get our positive cable on there. Actually, I have two. And this should lay this way. Like that. So let's get this. Make sure those lay proper and flat so you have good contact. And be careful when you're using a wrench, because if you touch the other terminal, you're going to complete the circuit. So sometimes people use a socket and a wrench. The wrench works too, but you just got to be careful you don't touch anything else. Alright, and that is as easy as it is to install this. It's just like a car battery. 2 bolts, put my positive back on my positive side, negative back on my negative side. So now, let's go check on the wall in our RV and just see if we have power, and then we can pull up the app. And it's as easy as downloading the Redodo app right here on the battery. They have a QR code, just scan it, Apple or Google Play, and it'll pull up the app for you to download. Alright, so we got everything installed. The Redodo battery's up and running. I have the app installed, and we're currently sitting at 52% charge. So this has to charge for a little bit. Now right now we're just charging through the RV. My RV set up to where when you're plugged in the shore power or through the 30 amp cord, it'll charge the battery. I do have a Redodo charger that we're going to install here next, but I just wanted to show that it is charging. The app is functioning. It's pretty great. I love the app actually. Like if you have multiple batteries on here, there's a balance button where it'll balance the batteries for you, because you always have to balance batteries if you're wiring in series or parallel. It's got an on and off. It shows your power, your current, your amps, how long to charge. It shows that it is charging, shows its charge state. There's tons of cool stuff on here. You can rename the battery. It's Bluetooth, so you can hook up Bluetooth. And it's got a lot of great options on here. So this is pretty cool. Now we actually have something that I can pull up on my phone and always have a percentage of the RV battery. For 5 years now, I never knew what the percentage charge was. I just looked at 4 little red dots on a wall, and that doesn't really tell you much. So this app's pretty cool. Highly recommend downloading the app if you get one of these Redodo batteries. They have many options. We're choosing to use it for our RV. So check out the website and see what type of batteries they offer and see if it fits your needs and what you're looking for. And I highly recommend them. So far it's been a great battery. Now let's pull out that charger and let's get the charger installed. Alright, so next we're going to install the charger. This is the end of the wiring that we need to put onto the battery. So this will go on your negative terminal, positive terminal, and then you pretty much have a plug-in sticking out after you get that wired in. So let's loosen up our terminals here and let's get this installed. Alright, so this is the cable going to my RV. This cable goes to my power jack up front, and then this will be the cable for the charger. So now we're getting a few things stacked up on here. Let's make sure they all lay flat. You get a nice good connection. Alright, we got our positive cable on, put our cap back on there, and let's loosen up our negative cable. This side tight. Alright. Okay, so now that we have that on there, now we have our plug for our charger. So now we just got to get our charger set up. Now it's wired to the battery. So here's the charger itself, and then here's the plug to plug that into. So this you're going to want to mount somewhere where it's dry, because obviously you don't want to get a bunch of water in here. You have electronics, so I can't just mount this right here. It's not going to last very long. It's going to short out and cause problems. So my idea is to get a second single battery box, mount it right here, and then I can mount this inside that box, and then it stays dry. But just to show you guys how well these work, and that's a secondary source of a way for me to charge this battery. We got that wired in. We're just going to get it plugged in and running today and show you guys it working. And later on down the road, I'll pick up a box and we'll get it wired in proper and watertight. But for today, just showcase purposes, we'll wire it in like this. So now all you got to do is plug your cable in. Cable's plugged in. Now we just got to provide power to this. And it has a little light on the side. Fully charged will be a solid light. Charging is a red light. If it's a red flashing light, you have a fault somewhere in your wiring. And green is standby. I'm assuming that's when you turn it on. Or if it's fully charged, it's on standby mode. So now the only thing to do is plug our 12-volt battery power source and get it charging. Alright, so let's get this plugged in. Alright, so we have our charger wired in. We got it plugged in. I brought over a power source for us. We're going to use our EcoFlow River Pro 2. And we're going to get it plugged in. So now that everything's plugged in, now all you have is a 120 volt AC power cord. You just have to plug into a outlet and it'll power this and start charging your battery. So you'd hook this up if you don't have shore power for some reason, you lost your 30 amp. Our RV runs off our battery, runs our RV lights. So if we ever wanted to just run lights and we have some power issue, I can hook this charger up, plug it in, and we'll have this battery getting charged from this charger, and it'll charge our lights and have our lights up and running. So let's get this plugged in. That's kind of like a scenario that I would use it for. One of the many scenarios you can use this charger for. You could always leave it plugged in and always have your battery topped off if you're plugged into shore power and you know you're not running off grid or solar like we are, and power's a premium. So we're just going to use it as needed. So we're going to plug it in. Hear the fan running now. We have a little red light here. My red light means it's charging. Look down on the power pack. Pulls about 322, 323 watts while running. And that is charging our 12 volt battery. So now let's pull up the Redodo app and let's see what's going on. So now this is my Bluetooth. You can disconnect Bluetooth on and off. It's on, so it's reading the battery right now. It's charging. 2 hours 28 to 26 minutes. State of charge is 55. We started off with 52. So we've already charged 3% with that. So we know that's running, and it gives you a little the capacity right now at 55.5 amp hours. This is a 100 amp hour battery. So we're about halfway there. So that equates to each percentage would be 1 amp hour for your 100%. So like I said, you have that balance button. If you had multiple batteries, you just tap that and you'd balance out your batteries. And then I can pull up some info. I renamed it the Redodo 12-volt RV battery. Firmware version, temperature, and cycles. So it actually gives you a cycle count, how many times you drained it and charged it. So that's pretty cool. So now we just leave it charged, in 2.5 hours to come out here and we have a charged battery. So if I left this running and walked away, we'd be good to go, and then we have a fully charged battery in 2 hours. So that's pretty neat.
I want to say thank you to Redodo for giving us this opportunity to try out your battery. There's so many different features and so many different things that you can do with this battery that it's really endless. It's all up to your imagination. But we're excited to have this for our RV, and we'd like to invite everybody that's watching to go ahead and click the link in our description below to check it out. There's going to be Black Friday sales coming up for this, and we'd enjoy for you to have a discount. So we'll have that down in the description below as well. We hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you on the next one.